Hi Philbrook, I am Channing with Dallowry, and I know that the RFP is typically just sent as a boring PDF, but we thought since we own the software that we're proposing we build on, and it's easy enough to add a video and create an entire immersive experience with the direction that we are thinking of taking the Philbrook, why wouldn't we? So, a little bit about me. I have loved the arts ever since I can remember. My papa as I call him, he really instilled an inspiration for the arts in me from a very young age. He was on the board of the Lyric Theater in OKC. Every year, him and my Mimi would take me to the OKC Ballet to see the Nutcracker, which is still a tradition that I do with my kids today. And we've seen Shakespeare in the park for years. It's still something that we like to enjoy as a family as well. I even got to play violin with the Philharmonics once, so that's pretty cool. And for me, those were not just nights out. They were the sparks that made me see art as something alive, something personal, and something worth protecting. And really, that spark has never left. And throughout my career, it's really the spark that's helped me try and push a business together with people in a way that actually connects and resonates. My pawpaw was in insurance, and so I was inspired to start an insurance agency. And within a 2-year period, I was able to build a brand that resonated and a book that was successful with a system that anyone could operate and actually sell it to a New York buyer, which is super cool because now they've taken the brand national. And that was one of my first experiences, building a brand that is evergreen, building a brand that is timeless, building a brand that speaks to a wide variety of audiences. Today, one of my favorite projects that I've ever worked on is another company that my husband and I own called the Griffin Antique Mall, and it's in Edmond, Oklahoma. And what we found when we entered the antique mall industry world is that a lot of times they could feel intimidating, dated, and a lot of times disorganized. And so we changed that, and it started with the branding. We made sure it was welcoming. We made sure that it was modern, but still had a timeless flair that really spoke to the history of the pieces inside the mall. Once we had a strong and solid brand idea, we then got to work on the systems. And what our systems are built to do is to reduce the amount of paperwork that our team and our vendors are doing so that our vendors can spend more time curating and our team has the margin for creativity. And because there's now margin for creativity, we could actually allow the team to be spontaneous. And spontaneity, as you guys know, is where the real magic happens. And really, my love of art and culture is not something passive. In fact, my husband and I just took an almost entire month to explore and visit Italy and France this last year. We got to spend time in Modena, Bologna, Venice, Lake Garda, in Paris, and a few other little small towns in between. But my absolute favorite was Verona, where we visited the Giardino Giusti. This is a historic garden, much like yours, but theirs hosted even the Medicis during political plannings. And the entire time, no matter where we were, we soaked up the art, the architecture, and absolutely the museums. I really love seeing how all the collection of details, so the stonework, the typography, the graphics, all work together, even in seemingly very small pieces, to tell a story. And that's the kind of texture and soul that we plan to bring to the Philbrook. So for the Philbrook, here's what we see. Not just a brand facelift, because really any marketing company can give you that. We want to build you a lifestyle identity, something that resonates between generation to generation, something can be passed on. Just like Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park has passed on to me, the Oklahoma City Ballet has passed on to me. These are organizations that I don't just see the branding and think, oh, that would be fun. I emotionally connect with it. Goosebumps even right now, literally just remembering all those times with my grandparents and all the fun we had just on a random Saturday night going and seeing a Shakespeare play. What we want to build with you is something that says, this place is for you. Whether you're an art scholar or a kid on a field trip, or even if you're someone who just wants to go tour the gardens on a random Tuesday. In fact, as you notice here, I am officing from Hafer Park today. I love visiting the local parks It's a great place to just connect with nature, get inspired, and isn't this such a better view than a stuffy old office? We want to create Philbrook as someplace that you gather, not just someplace that you visit, someplace that you stay, someplace that you enjoy, and really create an environment where people feel the need to come together in a community format with you guys, not just at the Philbrook, but with, and connect emotionally with your audience. And we definitely want to build in a ton of creativity and fun. So for the initial branding, we've included a few of our very, very rough draft ideas of our logo that we would pitch with you guys, and the color scheme that we think speaks and resonates in a timeless but modern fashion. A couple of the different ideas for the logo is utilizing the dead space, if you will, inside of the P to create a window into what the Philbrook has to offer. But make sure that it is in a font that is timeless. We want branding that can be put on clothing that people are proud to wear. We want a logo that is moving, that is active, that is fun. And we even had it tested by my kids. So if I can get a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old who are very critical of any work that I do to say, oh, we like that, then I think we're off to a really great start. So again, I'm Channing, the founder of Dallowry, and I really believe that this is the perfect partnership. We want to work through you on brand design and entire concepts that are timeless, but also flexible so that you can use them where you need over generations to come. We want to help put in systems and automations that allow your team more margin for creativity so that you can do what you do best and show who Philbrook is. And we want to bring all this together to make sure the entire identity is entirely timeless. So we are ready to help Philbrook grow into the lifestyle brand that you imagine because we know exactly what that feels like. You can check out our boring old PDF in the buttons above. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me at info@dallowry.com, or you can even call or text 405-592-5775. Bye, Philbrook.